How y'all wearing my shop? Today we're going to turn a little ring bowl. These are great for your wife. If she is not interested, maybe your girlfriend, daughter, daughter-in-law, grandchild. Hey, the girl who's giving you Google eyes at exercise class. But no kidding aside, this is a great little project. And if you're just turning, I would suggest this is the way to get started with bowl turning. Don't get into something bigger. Take smaller wood. You can practice your technique, you can practice your form. It's a heck of a lot safer doing a small bowl to start with. So I'm going to take this cracked block of holly, this round, and I'm going to cut off an amount long enough for a couple of ring bowls. So you obviously got to have some sort of jig. If you've ever tried to cut around without a jig, you recognize how dangerous it is, and you won't not likely to do that again. So I've got this bandsaw jig, and I've got this little spacer block. This is usually for bigger logs, but this spacer block will hold it just fine. Got a crack coming all the way through here, about halfway through it. I'm not sure what that looked like, a spur drive or something. So I'm going to cut along that crack. This is nice and squared up. So this will make a nice little ring bowl. This one, yeah, maybe be a little smaller. How big is that? 3.5 inches. Pretty small. Alright, so I'm going to take my little bowl blank and I'm going to put it in this triangle, make it easy to drill. And we just mark corner to corner so we know where the center is. First gauge all to kind of mark that, give the drill some place to register. I'm going to use just a size slightly bigger than 3/16 of an inch for this. Probably should mark this with tape to know how deep. Measure the drill bit against it, and that's where I'm going to mark with the tape. That'll be good enough. And we got it squared up. Looks good. Alright. Now, let's see how we do it. Alright, I'm a little nervous trying to do it the fast way, but I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to bring this thing up to about 250 RPM. Let's see what happens. I'm just going to alright, well that's a start. Just ratchet it on. That wasn't as scary as I thought it was going to be. Okay. Now, because this is small, wow, man, I hate to tear up this nice screw chuck with a small blank. Oh, that's all right. I'm not going to turn it around yet. All I'm going to do is, yeah, let me think about this. I think I'm just going to use this screw chuck for the initial mounting. Not a problem. I will put a recess here, turn it around, mount it in the chuck, and put a recess on the inside to be able to finish off the outside. So just an extra chucking. All right. Alright, I think I've got it flat enough. I think I'm going to put a recess. I'm going to use my smaller chuck jaws. Measure it. Okay, there we go. Speed down a little bit for this. Oh, I didn't get this too close. Second try, I did. Go ahead and hollow that out just a little bit. This is not going to be a very deep recess. Not even more than an inch. Just come in there sideways and a little bit low. I think that'll do it. Double check it. I don't do recesses very often. Yeah, that'll work just fine. Alright, so let's unthread this and well, let's use my actually just lock the spindle. There we go. And off it comes. Need this chuck wrench to hold it. Put that aside for a future project. It may be getting a lot more use. Alright. Put on my 35mm jaws. Alright, I think that's nice and snug. I'm going to face this off because I had a little bit of that crack coming through. I'm going to face it off before I do the reverse chucking recess. Lower the tool rest so I can cut on center. Okay, up just a little bit. Alright, we're going to use a 1/2-inch bowl gouge and kind of face that off a little bit. Get the speed up a little bit. Pretty good. Looks close enough for right now. So now we're going to do a recess. Since I've got lots of room here, we're going to put a recess for my normal jaws. So we're just going to mark that right there. Okay. Open that up a little bit. Use my recess tool this time. Actually, I think I like it a little bit better than using a skew. So I'm going to raise the height a little bit since this is only a 1/4 inch and the other one was a 1/2-inch bowl gouge. So we're just going to bring it across, even, flat on the bottom of the scraper, and then bring it in. That'll give us a nice recess. Now I can go ahead and rechuck this and finish turning it round. It's off. This out for one of the 50mm jaws that fit that recess. This is dovetail fitting, so it should be a nice strong hold for me to get this thing shaped around. And it's so that recess is just maybe a shade over 1/8 of an inch deep. Alright, just snug. Okay. Alright, now we're going to turn this thing around. We can start developing shape. Lower the tool rest again. So we're back to a 1/2 inch bowl gouge, not a 1/4 inch tool. And I'm just going to come straight in, hitting that side grain. About 1/16 of an inch from the edge, and that'll get pretty close to round. Close, got a little bit more to go. Tool rest sideways. That's not a very wide here to support that. I'd like it to be, the wall to be a little bit thicker. I think I'm just going to go in just a smidge deeper where I'll get a little more meat a little further down. Yeah. Alright, so now we're going to reverse chuck it. I've still got some rough edge here I need to take off, so let's go ahead and do that. Go back and get rid of that sharp edge again. I'm going to leave the rim fairly wide. time, so I can go in a little bit. It's as deep as I need to go to have room to eliminate that recess on the bottom and not blow through it. Shape's not too bad. I think I'm going to take a scraper and kind of smooth the walls a little bit. And then what I like to do for these kind of bowls is add a little texturing here. So I'm going to use this little cove tool and make a little recess for the texturing tool to go in. Okay, so it'll ride in there. I'll come down and drop this a little bit. See if I can switch tool rest to get in there a little closer. Use a small one. Reverse it so I can get in there. Okay. Slow the speed down a little bit to no more than about 500 or so. Yeah, I've got a nice little groove there now. And now I just want to clean up that rim just a little bit, so I think I'll do that with this detail gouge. Come across. And then I want to put a little bit of a point, and use this point tool. I'm going to raise this tool up a little bit, tool rest. Just frame this decoration a little bit. That looks good. Maybe I'll just line this over just a little bit here. Okay. And it looks good there. Now I need to sand that inside. I'm going to use my power grip jaws for reversing this bowl, but first I want to put a little piece of little bit of tape around it so to kind of prevent it from getting damaged. Okay. I'll just press that down flat and tighten it up. I've just got to be, careful of those chuck jaws as I'm cleaning up the bottom. And that's the depth, so I can verify how much room I've got. So basically all I've got to do is get rid of this bump, bring it in a little bit, take this down. Come in there with a smaller bowl gouge. That other one's a little bit big. Drop down to a 3/8 inch. Yeah, it's nice and flat. All I gotta do is sand it. Keep the speed down to no more than about 350 for this. Ease in on the left-hand side. Slowly keep that pressure on and bring it around. And that gives us a nice little bit of a detail. And now we're going to come in there and just frame that with a point tool. Speed up a little bit. Good. Come in perpendicular to the wood. Just touch that there. Touch that there. And now we've got it. All we got to do is do a little hand sanding on the outside of the bowl and we'll be done. The finishing. And there's our nice little ring bowl.